Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good as always. I'm wonderful. We're diving back into this lab, talking about a big-time NFL prospect, Ashton Jeanty, Boise State running back. This guy's got a lot of talent. I got a lot of opinions on the man that may not, line up with the pundits because, they only see it one way. I've broken down probably 8 of his games of this past year, went back previous seasons, looked at a few as well. I'm very well versed on a Jeanty, and I do got some comments. There's a lot of good things to like, but there are some negatives that I will touch base on. So let's dive into pros, cons, and I got a grade score for Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise State. So allow me to preface this right away by saying to you that I'm not disliking Jeanty's game whatsoever. He's a very good, talented running back, but there are situations where I could uplift 2 running backs out of this class, if not 3, above him based on what they do and what they could be in the NFL. He is a very good, talented running back, but it is very deep with high-end talented backs. But let's talk about those measurables as always. He stands 5'8", 211, 21 years of age, college career, 40 contests, 750 attempts for 4,769 yards. That's why everyone's getting all the juices flowing, because he just came off a 2,000-yard plus season campaign, 6.4 on the average, and a whopping 50 touchdown rushes, adds 80 receptions for 862, 10.8 on the average, and 6 receiving TDs. So there is good stat lines here to get excited about, good ways why people are pumping the tires, ringing the bell, and saying Jeanty's the next best thing since sliced bread, but I will get into all of that. We definitely got to talk about some pros because he is a very good, talented running back. Speed power combo. You guys know this. When you're looking for a running back, you want the speed, you want the strength. He's got both of them. There is no question. Even at 5'8", 211, he is a very strong specimen and will make you pay once he is running. The frame is very good, compact frame. This is what aids him in his abilities because he understands how to run the football. Compact, down low, low center of gravity, definitely hard to bring down. Speed power combo definitely is here. Tape speed, very good. He does have the long speed, can make the home run calls. I do want to see this in the pros. There is some negatives. I will say why I'm saying that, but I do think he will have a very good NFL career, and the speed is definitely there. Was upset he did not run at the combine, was hoping for that. We will see what he does run at the pro day. I'm looking for 4.43, 4.42, and I'd be happy with that if I'm a Jeanty supporter. I am a supporter. I'm not a hater. I do got some question marks. Acceleration over pure burst for me. Some say it's burst. I think it's the accelerators. 1-2 steps, then he's off to the races, rather than shot out of the cannon burst. But he does got that long speed, and you do like to see it. He can break away from his defenders, his would-be tacklers. He makes a lot of plays after contact, like you guys do know. Very strong and physical. Drop shoulder, stiff arm, definitely pluses. You're looking for a guy who's going to make yards after contact. Jeanty is your dude. We do have to preface that also with a guy like Javonte Williams, who also was one of the leaders in the FBS with North Carolina coming out of college. He was a madman after yards after contact. Look where Javonte is today. Just putting it out there. You got to understand, with guys that are smaller, this is not Derrick Henry, okay? Derrick Henry can, over 10, 12, 15 years, take that type of punishment and keep on going. Undersized guys, they will definitely break down a lot sooner playing this type of football. Just throwing it out there. Javonte, unfortunately, had an ACL injury, so it's not necessarily his fault of the, lack of production. Just one of those things that happened. But Jeanty definitely strong and physical, and he will make you pay when you do come after him. Like I said, low center of gravity, definitely a tough tackle. When he's low to the ground, his body manipulation, his ability, his athletic ability, his upside, his agility, his spins, he can do it all. We've seen it, and he can definitely do all these things you're looking for, which does make him, able to run past these guys post-contact, which is very good as well. Body balance definitely is elite in this man. He will take a hit. The avoid break tackle absolutely is elite, man. He is one of the toughest runners I have seen in a long long time, especially at his size, that can make a lot of plays post-contact, and he can no worse for wear on the speed. The accelerators definitely kick in even after he is contacted, and he will turn it upfield. His great plant steps with the turn-up speed, like I said, no loss. It's not necessarily stop, start, burst. It's just his speed does not, fail him once he does initiate contact. Once contact is initiated on him, he definitely will break free and will take off with those wheels. Change of direction, near elite, man. This guy can definitely change direction in any aspect, going left, going right, off tackle, outside, through the middle. He can do it all and make a lot of plays. Find those cutback lanes in the open field, making people miss with his change of direction. Not necessarily, juke shake ability. It's contact, avoid tackle, and he does this very well. More one-cut runner than you want to say of pure juke and shake ability. Good patience, vision, stutter steps. He's got that nice little hop step you like to see when he's trying to avoid and maybe, wait and be patient for his gaps to open up, for his linemen to open up the holes for him. He's got that really nice little jump step. You like that a lot, man. Running backs that can do this and understand how to do this behind the line of scrimmage and then shoot the gap, that's what you want to see. Very good quality stutter steps and hop cuts, definitely pluses for me. He does find his cutback lanes extremely well, and he's able to exploit them with ease. Very good understanding of his game, understanding where his offensive line is putting him and how he's able to exploit defenses when those lanes do open up. His hands, definitely not a liability, but I'm not, selling the farm for him. Yes, he did catch quite a few passes 2 years ago. It's just, I mean, it's not a liability, but are you going to be, focusing on him in the pass game? Maybe not. A lot of people say it's going to be like, the Josh Jacobs type of thing. I can agree to that more, and how they're going to utilize, a Jeanty in the pass game. I think that's more where I'm looking, rather than saying he can be 100% utilized in the pass game and relied upon. I think that's kind of a, stretch of a statement, and he was definitely that Heisman runner up into 2024. Lost out to a Travis Hunter. Definitely was warranting of winning the Heisman based on his, unbelievable season that he did have, over 2,000 yards rushing. But for some cons, he's got some. And this is where I'm going to break down a lot of film, make maybe some people upset in this sense. Undersized height, 5'8". Fine, he's a running back. We understand running backs, they are tending to be a little bit on the shorter side, but you go give me some names that have really succeeded in the NFL under 5'9". You will be tasked with that, because I did it. I went through everybody I possibly could. Outside of a Barry Sanders being the unicorn, undeniably one of the best runners in the league at 5'8". There's not a lot, man. Ray Rice, Maurice Jones-Drew, D'Angelo Williams. You're talking about guys that had an impact, but definitely did taper off as their careers did, go out. But there is potential for him to still be a very good quality runner. We saw MJD do it for many years in the NFL, so there isn't a suggestion from me to say he won't be quality in the pros. It's just the odds are stacked up against him based on the height and stature and the way that he plays the game of football, being so highly volatile with contact. The longevity is what concerns me. So I'm just telling y'all, when we're talking about, pure running backs, just, relax just a tad in calling him guys like Bijan and LaDainian Tomlinson. Like, give me a break. He does fit more to me in that Maurice Jones-Drew role. Maurice Jones-Drew, okay, he is that stronger, faster MJD. You got to say, I'm all on board with that comp. But if you're calling him LaDainian Tomlinson, you got to really have your head checked, in my opinion. Overworked, man. Nearly, 400 touches in 2024. Just absolutely asinine how much productivity this guy took this past year. And it did go into the later stages as they were fighting to get into the college football playoffs. 750 attempts in that 3-year career. Lots of tread on those tires. We saw another guy like Jonathan Taylor, who had 900 attempts coming out of college on his, respectively. And look at JT. He eventually started to break down these past several years. This is a concern. Overworked product, undersized product, physical running back. It is a definite concern for me. Ball security issues. There are 9 fumbles on his career. Big problem, man. If you're fumbling the football, you're supposed to be this elite commodity. I mean, you got to protect the football. Especially if you're that physical, you're going to be pounding into other guys. You got to understand of protecting that football. 9 fumbles, definitely a concern for me as well. Limited elite competition. This is the big one that I'm harping on. If they played in the SEC, even in the Big Ten, are you telling me it's 2,000 yards? I really have a hard time with that, man. The only teams really, basically you want to call elite competition from this past year was Oregon and Penn State. We saw, okay, he cooked Oregon, but I always thought Oregon was a pretender this past year anyway. Penn State was the biggest test for me. I watched that game probably 4 times to see. I was trying to prove myself wrong and saying, can he do this? Is he doing this well? It was 3.5 yards per carry, and a lot of that yardage came as the game did wear on and was out of hand. They shut him down, man. So I'm telling y'all right now, I understand it's Boise State. They don't necessarily have an elite team as well, so you put him on an elite club in the NFL, maybe things do change. Elite offensive line, he's going to be able to find room to run, no question. But I'm telling y'all, these things do concern me quite a bit. The lack of top-end competition. If he's in the SEC or the Big Ten, I'm thinking it's 1,300, 1,400 yards. Still a very great season, but it's not 2,000. You're playing teams like Hawaii. So I'm just saying, I'm not putting the guy down. I'm just saying, you got to do it. So respect out to getting 2,000 yards. You got to do it and show it, and he did. But the limited competition, I really do have a problem getting past that. Like I said this whole time, longevity concerns definitely does concern me. How much volume he has already had on his stature, on his size. Will he be the enigma, the anomaly that will, buck that trend and say he's going to definitely be here for the long term? Sure, MJD did it. We've seen it for 10 plus years. There is no question in my mind that Jeanty could be a quality runner for 10 plus years in this league. Without question. It's a concern, and I don't know how much draft capital I'm willing to select on this man in fantasy football and in pro terms. I would look at other guys, in my opinion. I got some names for you as well. He's, more than just a one cut, or he's more one cut than juke and shake, like I mentioned in the pros. That's not necessarily a downfall because he makes this work. I'm just throwing it out here as a statement rather than a con. He is a great prospect, in my opinion. He's not elite, okay? And we're talking about elite running backs. You're talking about Gibby. You're talking about Bijan. You're talking about Saquon. Those are elite running backs. Jeanty is going to be very, very good, and his, definitely his score definitely indicates that. But I'm telling y'all right now, you put him in the same category with guys like LT, you're going to be disappointed if that's where you put him. But for grading purposes, he definitely scored out very well for me. He does so many things exceptionally well. 80.3% in that exceptional grade ability definitely is warranted at 80.3%. It is a good score for a Jeanty, but I'm telling y'all, pump the brakes on those expectations that a lot of these pundits, they're trying to put it out there and convince you. I'm telling y'all, he's good, he's great, he's got that exceptional ability, and he will be quality for many years to come, but I don't foresee him being one of the elite runners to ever play this game. But nevertheless, that's how I see Jeanty, for better or worse. If I'm wrong, I will come back here and eat my words, but I don't think I'm wrong. I think I pegged him pretty good here. There you have it. That is Boise State product, running back, a Heisman runner-up, Ashton Jeanty. Very good. And don't get it twisted. The negatives do concern me, but I still am a big fan. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan. I guess I'll put it that way, where I could put guys like Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, even a Caleb Johnson ahead of him and feel fine about it. So if you are an elite running back, you shouldn't feel fine about it. Like with the Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs draft, if I put anybody above Bijan, I would not feel good about it. And that's kind of where you go when you're talking about elite level running backs. And that's kind of where I see a Jeanty as we sit today. But there you have it. That is Ashton Jeanty, and we will get out of here, man. Nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What do you think of Jeanty? You in, you out? Obviously, a lot of y'all being told that he is generational. He could be, but I'm going to definitely hedge bet in this sense. But we'll see you next time. I am out.